Hello, chemistry students. We're going to talk about chemical and physical changes today. Physical changes do not change the identity of a substance, and all changes of state are considered to be physical, like this piece of ice changing from a solid to a liquid. That's a change of state. It's always physical because nothing new has formed. That is, goes from solid water to liquid water. It's still water. Chemical changes transform one or more substances into new and different substances. They involve some sort of chemical reaction. So how do we know if it's chemical? Well, an unexpected change in heat energy, so if it gets hotter or colder and you don't expect it to. If you put it on a burner, you expect it to get hotter. But if you add two cold liquids together and it gets hotter, you don't expect that. So that would be an unexpected change in heat. A gas is produced. So if something is bubbling and you don't expect it to bubble, now I'm not talking about boiling. I'm talking about you're adding two cool things together, two cool liquids together, and it starts to bubble. Or you put a solid that is cool into a liquid that is cool and it starts to bubble. An unexpected color change. Now this is something like if you add two clear liquids and it turns yellow, then that would be an unexpected color change. You don't expect to mix two clear things and it turn yellow. But if you mix a clear liquid and a red liquid and it turns red, you would expect that. A solid or a precipitate is produced. A clear solution turns cloudy. That is an indicator that a precipitate was formed or a solid. An unexpected apparent mass change usually means that a gas is involved. So if you start out with 1 gram of something and then you have a chemical reaction going on and then you end up with 0.8 grams, you don't expect that to happen. So you probably lost it from a gas being formed. A new odor is formed. So if something didn't stink and then you mixed it together and then it did stink, that is a big indicator that a chemical reaction has happened. Or light is produced. An example is fire, or another example would be a lightning bug. There's a chemical reaction going on if there's a light produced. So let's go through these examples. All of these processes are part of the digestive breakdown of food. You need to list them as chemical or physical and then give a reason why. So chewing food was a new substance formed after you chew it. So let's say you put an apple in your mouth, you chew it. Is it still an apple? Yeah, it is. So it is a physical change. All you've done is broken it down into smaller pieces. Breakdown of proteins. If it says breakdown, that means it's chemically made into a smaller substance. It has a chemical change. Breakdown of carbohydrates, the same thing. Chemical, because you're taking a big carbohydrate or a big chemical and you're breaking it down into much smaller carbohydrates. Churning of food is the same thing as stirring or squeezing the food together. That is a physical change because nothing new is being formed. It's just making the food into smaller pieces. Starch breakdown. Whenever you see breakdown, that means that it's breaking the chemical bonds into smaller pieces. So that would be a chemical change. In food reacting with hydrochloric acid or HCl in your stomach, if you see reacting, that means it is a chemical change because it is undergoing a reaction. Thanks for watching.